Guys, welcome to the very exciting video. I always give you some tips on how to improve in chess, and sometimes I'm telling you to play against computer because I remember I spent one of the summers basically with the chessboard with the computer, and I would play out the moves on the actual chessboard, and I was playing probably every day couple of games, and by the end of it, I felt like my skills kind of improved. I started playing more careful, better, and then I had this jump from maybe 1650 or from 1650 to 1700, and then from 1700 to 1900, and then from 1900 to 2000 in this let's say 6-month period. So I had some successful results, and recently I work during the day, and sometimes I try to take some breaks, play some chess, and I decided to play 10+5 rapid game against computer. And let's see how it played out. So it randomly paired me with black pieces. Computer plays d4 on move 1. I play my regular knight f6, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop b4, and we're getting Nimzovich defense. e3, castle, bishop d3, d5, takes. And look, I'm not too familiar with how to play it. I know in some of my files there is move c5, probably to play, let's say, system with rook e8, c6, and then basically coming back with this bishop on d6 is a more solid approach. But I decided to go c5, which is, a book move, nothing much here. Knight c6, bishop d2. So bishop d2 is kind of weird move, and by the way, this is last level of Komodo 3200 rating, so you'll be very surprised what happened in this game. The same way I was surprised when I was playing it. Bishop d2 takes on d4, takes on d4, h6. So he plays a3, I go bishop d6, basically retreat back, and now I have some ideas of potentially trying to go for bishop h2, knight g4. So white's plan meanwhile is probably advance on queen side, because usually that's what white is trying to do. So he plays b4, a6, now plays rook c1, basically trying to take c file under his control, rook e8, bishop e3, knight e7. So my idea here, alright, knight e7 is an accuracy according to computer. I'm still slightly better. My idea is to play knight f5 and trying to at least trade one pair of these bishops. So maybe play bishop f5 or play knight f5, attacking this and kinda provoke this trade. That of course didn't happen. Bishop f4, he's trying to trade first. I play bishop f5, and basically I was trying to trade as many pieces as possible, and now bishop e5. I really like bishop e5 move because basically he's now saying, alright, I'll take on f6, I'll damage your structure, and if I want to protect this knight with this queen, I'll have to lose this bishop. So I play bishop e5 because let's say I want to play knight g6. The point is, after knight g6 there is bishop f5. This I didn't damage my pawn structure, but at the same time I lost my bishop on f5, and there was no clear way to, let's say, accomplish a trade without basically taking on e5. Computer says bishop g4, basically agreeing with this, but in my opinion it's just very bad. And knight g4 is one of the options computer has. Knight g4 actually makes a lot of sense, because now after takes, basically, let's say knight d5, there is knight e5 for bishop e5, and I think black are in full control. But I didn't see it. I decided to play bishop e5 and then place my knight in the center by playing knight e4. He played knight e4, attacking this bishop on f5, and now I have to go back. So I went bishop h7. Bishop h7 is apparently a mistake. I should have gone for this option, but I was afraid of e6, which happened in the game, but I didn't like e6 here, because then my bishop is kinda under attack potentially. Knight protected, but bishop on h7 is under protection of this king on g8. So I was like, bishop h7 is a better option, but after e6 it turns out I'm just in a huge trouble. I played knight c6. I'm trying to basically trade as many pieces as possible and potentially go to some endgame where I might have little chances. And look, now as you can see, according to computer, the position is +2 for white pieces. And you just gotta imagine that this game would turn in my favor. Well, like, how is it even possible? Knight c6 takes, knight d4 takes, rook c6. Like, you know, stockfish of this level would probably convert. That's why, you know, I'm not sure what happened in this game. Like, is it a glitch or something? But alright, I mean, you'll see what's about to happen. f3 takes, like, completely lost position. You know, probably if I would have played this position against the same level of computer, I would easily convert. But I just don't know. Rook e8, rook a6, and now see what happens. So I decided, alright, my position is lost. The only chance I have is this pawn on d5. And somehow, you know, in these types of position, you know, when you know you're down material, you gotta create some counterplay, and sometimes, you know, you gotta rely on some, you know, some miracle chances, and that's what my only option was, to protect this pawn and go for d4. And now at least I have some rook a3 and d pawn pushes. Like, at least there is something to play for. So he plays a4, rook a3, and surprisingly, my position is already equal. Like, we went from basically +2 position here to equal position over there, and after rook e2, it turns out, so queen c5 is a blunder. I mean, not a blunder, but mistake, and after rook e2, I take second rank under my control, and white are in trouble. Again, have no idea what happened here. You know, sometimes I notice that bots on chess.com make, you know, little mistakes which can result in bad result for themselves, but you know, it rarely happens, so that's why I was surprised. Like, it's 10+5, and computer was playing like moves immediately, and I was spending time to think of different moves. So I played rook e2, of course, and now d3, and I have just a strong counterplay. Like, I'm threatening to play d2, rook e1, and potentially a checkmate. So he plays b5, and now after rook e8, I mean, computer says queen e8, and I'm already, it's just over. d2, rook e1, goodbye. Rook e8, king h7. So I'm not sure why I didn't play d2. d2, I guess I was scared of rook h6, so that's why I was like, probably didn't want to really play it. But apparently after this, it's just a complete disaster, because let's say rook e6, I take this with check first, and then take on e6. Actually, wait, does this, let's say, oh, because rook e1, now queen c4, yeah, that's the problem. And I was calculating, so I played king h7 just to avoid this rook h6 check, just to avoid any counterplay. He played rook b1, and after d2, it turns out, I mean, this is just a serious threat, because after queen c2, let's say, queen c2, I can just play king h8, and there is no more chances, because let's say queen c3, trying to go this way, I mean, now I'll just promote or play rook e1, and the position would have been over. So d2, rook d1, rook e1. So now the thing is, rook e1, of course, I would be very happy to win like this. He takes e1, has to take, takes. Actually, wait, computer says queen d3 is the best. You know why? Because if I take here, you know, he still might have chances, so queen d3 is more precise option. And after queen d4, king f1, there is queen c4, king f2, queen h4, and the problem is I'm taking the queen h2, that's queen h1. So king f2, I played rook d1, queen c2, I calculated all of it, because now after queen d4, queen f5, and queen e1, it turns out I just promote a queen to d1. Plays queen c2, and of course, without too many problems, I was able to convert this position against 3200 computer. And now let's get to the interesting part, the game review. The game review, 82.8 accuracy from white, and as you can see by the graph, he was probably completely winning. I mean, +2 advantage is enough to convert, but then, you know, slight mistake, and then he didn't really have chances to strike back. I played 90.5, and what I really can't really understand, I mean, yeah, I mean, the bot really played like 2700, and I can totally agree I played bad, but it's just like, you know, some mistakes just didn't make sense. Like, you know, there was one miss apparently from white where they could just strike somehow by playing rook a6 right away instead of. That's why it's very important, like in this tempo. So sometimes, you know, computer are very bad at endgames, which is Not quite typical, but alright, I guess that happens sometimes. But yeah, I was really surprised to see that my rating is actually, performance rating is actually lower than computer, but yeah, sometimes happens, I guess, even with computers. Very interesting, according to Vladimir Borisovich. But alright, it is what it is. I beat the strongest Komodo computer on chess.com. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And let me know if you beat any of this Komodo bots, Komodo computers. I'll see you in next videos. Bye bye.